everybody, it's Kathy Homemeyer. And as we get going today, I'm starting my Lightwave Matrix because I need a little bit of myself. And while this is coming up, while folks are coming on, I'm going to take time to share this out a little bit. And so hello, everybody. And I am on, let's see, the fourth dimension, or the fourth level of consciousness. So I have been doing, a few shows ago, I described the way I looked at the 9 dimensions, mostly through, hey Judy, mostly through the Alchemy of 9 Dimensions with Barbara Handclough. So today we are on Dimension 4, or Consciousness Level 4. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. I have a few accelerators to share out. And actually, I'm starting the Lightwave complex because I've just come off 3 weeks of retreats, which were absolutely amazing retreats. And we've been doing breakfast, lunch, and dinner for many of them. So I'm starting the Lightwave process here for anybody who wants to receive that. All the listeners and folks on the show now and on the replay, I'm sending out general Lightwave energy, and I'm actually going to ramp that up to the Gold Star energy. Not great for pets, a little bit too strong. So this is for the human body that has since or has continued to accelerate into Gold Star energy. So sending out some Lightwave. Hi, Sue. Hi, Carl. Thanks for joining in from wherever you are. Put where you're from. I'd love to see where people are from. So put where you're from. That's always interesting. So today, again, I'm working on the fourth, the fourth dimension and the fourth level of consciousness. I've done kind of an intro, and then the first, second, and third. Today is the fourth. Oh, hi, Kira. Very nice to see you. Hi, Kira. So today is the fourth, like I said, and so I'm sending out general Gold Star Lightwave energy, mostly because I'm being selfish today. I need it too, so I'm going to send some to myself. We have been on an amazing journey this month of wellness retreats. And 30 years ago, I had a vision, and I want to thank all of you for actually being a part of that and really encouraging me to keep going with this. We've had 3 beautiful retreats, a wellness retreat, a yoga retreat, and we've just ended, everybody just left for a harp retreat. So it was absolutely fabulous. The cards that I'm getting, if you want to call them testimonials, but just the love that I'm getting from the retreats here, not only for the programming, but the place itself, our cooking here at the Lake Clear Lodge and the space has just been absolutely amazing. Hey, Christy. Christy was also at the Lake Clear Lodge at the wellness retreat a few weeks ago with Dr. Karen Kahn. She was the speaker as well. And I am just overjoyed with the response that I'm getting from the retreats and how encompassing and transformational that people think they are, no matter what kind they are, but also encompassing the whole holistic process, really the 9 dimensions of being here for retreat. So I want to thank you for encouraging me to keep going. I'm finally reaching my 30 years. I had a semi-vision of what all this could be, and it's been absolutely amazing. So today is the 4th dimension. Like I said, I've been doing the, let's see, putting my agenda here. We've been doing the Alchemy of 9 Dimensions with Barbara Handclough, which is kind of the pattern that I follow. Now, I found a new one. I'm very excited to find a new YouTube with Barbara Handclough, actually explaining those 10th and 11th and dimensions and adding them in there, sort of. So I'll put that in the comments. I can put that up right here. I have the link. You probably can't click it from here, but it's a YouTube link that I'll put in the comments. That is a new YouTube, seemingly with Barbara Handclough, and actually explaining the 9 dimensions, her background, and actually the 10th and 11th as well. Because we're not saying there isn't more than 9 dimensions. We're saying there's 9 levels of consciousness that we can really define and really access right now. So again, I'm continuing to send out Gold Star Lightwave to everybody on the show, everybody on the call, everybody listening or listening and watching in the future. Just some general Lightwave energy. Like I said, I've been on an incredible three-week retreats with breakfast, lunch, and dinner for different folks, and it is absolutely awesome. Lots of energy has gone into them and actually come back, so that's been really, really cool. So the fourth dimension, and I'll just recap the first, second, and third again. First dimension, right, is our blood or the iron core crystal of the earth. And please look back to my other shows and YouTubes if you want to get background before this. Second dimension, I call our microbiome. Third dimension is 3D, our matter in 3D. Fourth dimension really is where we start getting into where energy really starts to become non-physical, right? And we know it's there, but it's hard to define. We can feel it through feelings, but it's really kind of hard to define. And there's a couple of different processes that I do that I consider more in the fourth dimension, if you will, is the emotion code. I'm a certified emotion code practitioner. And also, German New Medicine, or a program that I developed called the BioCodes, which is really kind of, and also recalibrating your multidimensional body because we use infused waters. I really find that as things like essential oils, I use essential oils in my cooking as well as in general, and infused waters are really the interface, right, to 3D. So really kind of being the fourth dimension, if you want to call them that sort of thing, or the fourth level above, the level above 3D. So I have different programs that I consider kind of more are in the fourth dimension on the fourth level. I do emotion. Let's see if I have this down there. I'm a certified emotion codes practitioner, and I do offer private sessions. And really what that offers, let's see if I can bring this chart up for you. Many of you probably know about the emotion code, but what it does is, hello T, it defines the emotions and that level that's starting to basically get stuck. And there's a lot of great emotions, of course. This chart is really I don't want to say the negative emotions, but the lower frequency, the lower level emotions that kind of get stuck and cause problems within our biofield and then our body altogether. So you can actually dowse and chart out these emotions and ask, is there an underlying emotion that's causing this issue or something? That's kind of just real brief. But you can find the emotion and you can clear it energetically. It's really, it's something that I started into the energetic world years ago and have used and found very simple, very helpful, very awesome. I combine that with body intuitive, medical intuition. I was an occupational therapist, so I did study actual 3D body biology, I guess you want to call it as well. So the fourth dimension, really, according to Barbara Handclough, and again, this is kind of from her book. This is the older version, actually. There's a newer one called Alchemy of Nine Dimensions. And again, it's not super new anyway. She revised it just after 2012. But the information I find extremely invaluable. Hello, Mike. Nice to see you. So there's the Alchemy book. And in that, she explains the fourth dimension as the collective mind and kind of the canopy over our heads or the Earth's system that really we have to go through to get to the higher levels that we like the fifth dimension, sixth, and that sort of consciousness. So the fourth is really where things start to come down into matter, but start to split into duality and polarity. So that's really the gist of the fourth dimension, is where you start to see polarity. And that's where we get, light, dark, good, bad, all that sort of thing. And the emotions, where we start to get happy, sad. And that's why I really love the emotion code simplicity, because it gets to the heart of the matter, really, which our emotions really ping us. And it's actually another one shows that I've done here with Andy Lockmears and with Melissa Sell about German New Medicine. I call them the biocodes, but it's the emotions that actually ping our ancient codes They're there to keep us well, but they can keep on going and create a hanging, what's called a hanging healing. And that's where we just can't get rid of something. No matter what we do, we kind of hang that code and we just can't get rid of it because it's called a hanging healing. And the stimulus keeps on happening, and that's where we look at what that might be, look at that stimulus in a different light, and change the biocode that's coming up. So about the fourth dimension. So I've given kind of a varied description of the fourth dimension, but again, that's where we split into duality. That's where we're kind of interfacing with the higher energetic levels, and all that higher energetic light kind of hits the fourth dimension and starts splitting into the duality that we are challenged with here in 3D. And I have a few accelerators here that I just wanted to kind of interject, mostly because I was just saying in the start, if people didn't see that. Hello, Elizabeth. Hi, Maria. We just got off a 3-week course of wellness retreats here at the Lake Clear Lodge. I own my own wellness retreat with my family, and we nourish people mind, body, and soul. And I was telling people before, the feedback that we're getting is so incredible. I want to thank everybody again for being a part of that and keeping me going in this, because it's really making a difference. And I'm after 30 years, I'm seeing a vision that I had that long ago. And so I've been drinking a little bit too much coffee than I probably should have. So I want to send to you guys the Davis of coffee and give you the energy of it without getting the coffee, which is something I need myself. So I'm going to, with Lightwave, I'm going to pick up this beautiful accelerator energy. And we're going to send out the Davis of coffee and the energy from coffee. And I'll read the description to you. These magical Devas and elves care for and oversee all aspects of coffee production. Now, just put in the comments, I don't think it's something crazy controversial here, but whether you think coffee is good or bad. Some people really say it's good for you, and there's the science to prove it. Some say it's bad for you because, of course, it just elevates all sorts of things that maybe shouldn't be elevated. So yeah, just in the comments, not like I said, not to get controversial, but do you drink coffee? Do you like it? If you care to comment, go ahead. It's kind of a weird thing. My husband hates it when I drink coffee, and that's the one thing that I kind of do on Edge of Everything. But I put in I up the vibe of it. And I also put some beautiful organic chocolate in it, sometimes coconut oil. So it's seen as all sorts of things. There's the bulletproof coffee. There's, all sorts of things. So if you care to comment on coffee, go ahead. But we're going to send a high level of coffee out with the Devas. And according to, this is an accelerator by Brian DeFlores. He's saying that the Devas are constantly providing many of the growers, coffee companies, and coffee shops with amazing ideas in order to further diversify the legends of coffee here on Earth. Now, I'm not sure, again, what I think of this, but it's interesting. And I think I'd rather have the energy of it than the actual physical one I'm drinking right now. So we'll do that. Another on the same lines as the coffee is this beautiful chocolate accelerator. Now, I follow a lot of the Weston Price Nourishing Traditions ideas, and she's against chocolate. But I've taken a course on that, and I do raw chocolate, and that has a very, very interesting background to it. Chocolate does, right? With the cacao and how they drink it. And of course, we've refined it a million thousand times to where it's not so great with it. So yeah, we got some coffee comments there where we refined our chocolate again and again and again and processed it. So it's not so much, but so this is you can see that I've laminated it so it does a little shiny thing there, but it's like a cacao bean with light language around it. So with Lightwave, I'm going to pick up the energy of the cacao bean, if you'd like to accept. And it has little hearts around it that I've seen too, that I didn't see before. So this is the Devas of chocolate that awaken passion and excite the senses. These little whimsical Devas, which reside within the cocoa bean, preside over all the wonderful, tantalizing confections which spring from this plant. They are constantly providing many individuals with amazing ideas in order to further diversify the legend of chocolate here on Earth. And again, chocolate, on its pure source, just like most any food at its purest source, actually is really good for us. And this was again by Brian DeFlores. Upon entering my home, the chocolate divas were completely preoccupied with each other and the work. They spoke only about Speedy. No, he's talking about them talking in French and that sort of thing, but we won't go on with that. So I'm just going to send the Divas of Chocolate, which have wonderful, wonderful properties. I should do a show on raw chocolate sometime. I usually do chocolate classes online, how to make your own chocolate. And chocolate really is a carrier for superfoods. So if you look at chocolate like that, instead of like the really processed type of chocolate that really are just full of sugars and different items, look at chocolate as a carrier for superfoods. And, you know, that's another topic altogether. So back to the fourth dimension, let's pull up the emotion code chart. And yeah, energy is crazy today. It's been crazy for a while. I totally agree. I've seen all sorts of things with everybody. So thank you for mentioning that. That's why I'm kind of sending out different energies that other people might be doing, like the Divas of the Chocolate, which is another nice energy just to have to round out our multidimensional body, right? So I just pulled up the emotion code again. If anybody wants to place in an issue to see if they have, we can do an intent, see if we can find a trapped emotion for you. I'd be happy to clear a couple of trapped emotions here. So if anybody wants to put up an issue, we can, let me get my, there we go, okay. And while people are putting up some comments, and I'm sure I won't be able to get to everybody, so if anybody does have any body issue or emotional issue that you want to share, I could see if there's a trapped emotion related to that. I'm looking for my chart itself, because this one's a really tiny one here. And I'm hoping I can, there we go. I can open that up so I can see the chart. Okay, please explain what you're all about. I'm Kelly. Okay, Kelly, well, mine is nourishing your multidimensional body. I'll give a quick recap. Nourishing your multidimensional body, and I explain it in nourishing your basically the 9 dimensions of consciousness. According to a lot of the information by Barbara Handclough of Alchemy of 9 Dimensions, there are more dimensions, there's more levels, there's all sorts of ways to explain it. I actually do nutritional in terms of food, and I'm a chef, but I also nourish the multidimensional body in terms of mind, body, and soul. And I love exploring frequencies and nourishing with frequencies. So that's why I was doing the accelerators. Okay, Gabriella, left ribs. Let's see, and I'm going to have to pop this open so I can see my chart here. Okay, so I'm going to open a coning, what I call my coning. So this is kind of like a private protective bubble of energy that I open when I do energetic sessions. And I always use this coning, and it's always really wonderful. It's like we're on a conference call that nobody else can come in on. So I'm going to open the coning with the Deva of Healing. The Deva of the, since we're using the emotion code, the Deva of the emotion code. So that means the perfect blueprint of the emotion code as intended for healing. Pan, which is the nature intelligence for manifestation. I'm going to call in the appropriate members of the White Brotherhood Golden Legion that are helping humanity at this time so we can reach the highest level answers possible. And then my higher self and Gabriella's higher self. So again, if you're not familiar with the emotion code, most people are. This is the emotion code by Dr. Brad Nelson. I'm a certified emotion code practitioner. And we're asking if there's any trapped emotions affecting Gabriella's left ribs. I think I have that correct. Is there any trapped emotions? Yes, okay. So what we're going to do is ask if it's in column A. I think you can see the chart there. Is it in column A? No, it's not. Is it in column B? Okay, yes, it is. So it is it in the odd rows? We're going to scale this down and find the trapped emotion. Nope. In the even rows? Yes, okay, so it's in the even rows. So that means 2, 4, or 6. So is it in row 2? Nope. Is it in row 4? Row 4, yes. And I think we said, is it in column A, column B, right? So 4B. And so we're going to look at these. Is it the most important trapped emotion affecting Gabriella's left ribs? Are we in the right row, row 4B? Yes. Okay. Is it depression? Is it frustration? Is it indecisiveness? Is it panic? Or taken for granted? Now I've got to know all that, so that's this question. Is it inherited? Okay, yes it is. If you find the right row and you get a no on anything, then it's probably because it's an inherited trapped emotion and it's nothing that you trapped yourself. So, okay, is it an inherited? Okay, is it inherited depression? Nope, inherited frustration. Okay, inherited frustration, is this true? Okay, is it from the mom's side? Nope, from dad's side. Okay, and about how many generations back? We'll just go kind of approximate. Is it more than 5 generations back? No. Sometimes they literally can be hundreds and thousands of generations back. It's very interesting. Is this more than 5 generations back? No. More than 4? More than 3? More than 2 generations back? Okay, so 3 generations back, there was an inherited trapped emotion of frustration that came in with you when you were born, and that is affecting your left ribs. Do we need to know more about this? Okay, good. We can quickly clear this. Sometimes you need to know more, and you can ask many questions, and the more you get familiar with this, the more questions that you kind of know how to ask and into it. But we don't need to know anymore. You're just ready to release it, and it's ready to go. And the neat thing, I'm kind of glad this came up, because the really neat thing about inherited trapped emotions is that you release this for your family in the past. So in doing this release of inherited frustration today, we're going to release this for, I think it was on your dad's side, and then you could ask whether it was, which way it actually went and who it was. But we didn't need to know more, so we're just going to go ahead and clear this. Now, your governing meridian runs down the back, basically at the back of your body. So when I do clearings, I do them different ways, but the classic emotion code way to do it would be with a magnet. Now your hand is a magnet, so I use my hand as well. When I started off, I used, the exact thing, and then you realize that all this energetic work is energy, right? And you realize how that you really come to your intent. So let's go ahead and clear this trapped emotion of inherited frustration for you. Okay, and we're going to also put in this intent that if there's anyone listening to this broadcast now or in the future, and if it would be for your greatest, highest good to release an inherited trapped emotion of frustration, we're going to release that for you as well. Okay, so I'm going to just say, put it out to the universe. We don't know how, but we're releasing the inherited trapped emotion of frustration now. And I am fulfilled. So we're going to smile and know that we did that and it's done. And then we're going to double check. Actually, because inherited trapped emotions, you know what? I'm going to check because, is this cleared? No, inherited trapped emotions, when you do it kind of the classic way, it said that it needs 10 times for clearing. So we're just going to keep on clearing. Usually 3 times if it's not inherited. So I'm proxying for Gabriella. So I'm clearing my field, which is clearing hers, right? Because we're all related and in the field. So I don't know how many that was. So I was just going to keep going and then I'll check. So we're releasing the inherited trapped emotion of frustration for Gabriella and all those that would be for your greatest, highest good. And let's see if this is released. So is this trapped emotion of frustration released? Okay, getting a yes. Is this true? Double checking. Okay, so is it true that we've released the inherited trapped emotion of frustration? Yes. For Gabriella? Yes. Even though they're not on our coning, did we release them for anyone else? No. Actually, I'm getting a no. Okay, so let's do this. Let's add to the coning all the folks on the call. I told you that was a closed call, so that was actually awesome. I've never tested that before. So let's add to the call anyone on the call who has an inherited trapped emotion of frustration, who is for their greatest, highest good is to release this emotion for themselves and their family. Is there more than one? More than 2? More than 10? Nope. More than, so more than 6? More than 7? Okay, so not more than 7. So there's about 6 of you who are going to receive a clearing of the inherited trapped emotion of frustration. So let's do this again. To do this for the people we've included into our coning now. So we are going to clear the inherited trapped emotion of frustration now. And now. And again, it's 10 times and I'm not counting, so I'm just going to check afterwards to make sure that we've cleared this for everybody who needs this. And now. And if you're one of those that felt you got a clearing, put it in the comments and I'll double check with it later on if that was you. Okay. So did we clear the trapped emotion of frustration for Gabriella and all other 6 or so people that need the clearing? Yes. Okay. Awesome. That was really awesome because I didn't include you in the coning, and I told you that it was what do I want to say, a protective bubble, and I got a no. So that was really cool. I really loved that happened, and then it came up inherited because I love clearing inherited trapped emotions because it's not only for you, it's for your family and family in the future, so that kids or future kids won't get that inherited emotion passed down, and also for the past, your parents, grandparents, great grandparents that are also already deceased that will get the clearing as well. So they don't have to be alive; they'll get the clearing as well. So that's part of what I consider kind of the part of the 4th dimension, the fourth level in the emotions. Now the biocodes in German New Medicine, when we feel these emotions, when we feel this 4th dimension coming on, when we get pinged by either happy or sad, then biocodes kind of run. And when there's something that are healing us, and again, this is a kind of a complicated subject that turns medicine on its head. And look for my past shows on German New Medicine with Andy Lockmears and Melissa Sell right on the Akashic Academy and within the YouTubes. So again, we went through a very vague description of the 4th dimension, kind of the cloud above the, something that's just, if you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 3rd dimension and up, then we're just getting out of physicality. If you're looking at it in a downward direction, all the upper energies hit that 4th dimension and start splitting into duality. So I hope everybody has a wonderful week. I want to thank you again for being a part of this show and these broadcasts. I so appreciate it. I'm seeing my vision with a lot of these wonderful, wonderful retreats that we're doing, and I hope some of you someday can come to my place, but I'm also doing virtual real retreats now. We'll start the first one at the end of October. So we'll have virtual real retreats that you can join in from my place, and we'll have featured speakers. And I'm even going to send you, just like if you were at a retreat, I'm going to send you recipes. I'm going to send you, you can be part of the meet and greet, and we're going to do this in a really cool and unique way. So I hope to see you at some point on our virtual retreats or in and on my property as well. So thank you very much. From the bottom of my heart, I'm really exhausted but ecstatic today. So thanks a lot, and we will see you next time, where we will discuss the 5th dimension, or the 5th level of consciousness, and how it relates to all the others. And have a great, great week, everybody.